that were. So, welcome to a new podcast episode of Language Enthusiast. Today, we have an awesome guest for you. It's actually Mainak from India. And Mainak is a well-known American accent reduction coach. So he has her own YouTube channel, and he's famous for having mastered the general American accent and is a great role model for all Indian speakers. So I thought it was just great bringing him on so you can get motivated by him. And if you always wanted to sound more American, stay tuned. Um, we're going to talk about his personal language journey of learning in English, his incentive of wanting to improve his accent, his practice strategies and challenges that he faced and is still facing. So you're going to learn a lot in this episode. Let's dive right into it. So, Maynard, could you tell our viewers something about yourself? So where do you live? What is your language background? When did you start learning English? So just take it over.
Yes, thank you, Claudia, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And it's my privilege to be part of this whole conversation journey and podcast here. And yes, so my full name is Mena Ghosh. I'm currently 27 years old, and I originally belong from the township called Chittaranjan in the Indian state of West Bengal. It's approximately 247 kilometers away from Calcutta. It takes nearly about 5 hours while traveling by the train from uh, Kolkata to Chittranjan to reach there. I spent about 17 and a half years from 1998 until January of 2015, when I finally relocated here to Kolkata. And I've been living here for 10 years now. It's been more than a decade. And if I want to talk about my educational qualification, then I completed my 12th grade final examination way back in the year of 2017, and then I got enrolled for um, higher education in college. That is, I studied as an industrial trainee in the field of engineering and science. I did my studies for 2 years, consecutive years, from 2017 to 2019. And then I studied some course related to pertaining to accent and also pronunciation. I've been undergoing through the course of foreign language. That is, I'm also learning Russian.
Oh,
And,
also, wow.
yes, I can speak a little bit of Russian, and that doesn't make a whole sense of being like so proficient in the language because it's been just a very limited period of time that I've started my journey. I've long way to go. I'm very soon I'm gonna be um, advancing towards my career in leaps and bounds. So I guess so. Um, if I want to talk about my native or mother tongue, so my native language is Bengali. I'm a Bengali speaker, and aside from Bengali, I can also speak Hindi, and also as usually American English, and also I can talk. These days, I've been working on British English accents, especially accent of the standard received pronunciation, that is RP. And I've been working without anyone's guidance. I've been watching a lot of YouTube
Wow.
videos. Yes, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and those videos are helping me a lot in order to um, be able to polish my clarity in spoken English and accent itself. And and it's been just 5 to 6 years that I have been working so rigorously on my accent skills. And I started my journey way back in the year of 2018, lately. And so, first, I didn't have any preliminary knowledge or prerequisite knowledge related to accents, like where I can get knowledge about accent, this American accent. So I started my journey with the American accent. So uh, first I browsed the internet. I searched so many things, stuffs on YouTube, but unfortunately I didn't get anything so relevant. But finally, at last, I found a training material. It's called a book named Mastering the American Accent by
Yeah,
Lisa Moisen.
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, Mastering the American Accent by Lisa Moisen. And that book just, it was a total game changer for my English, for transforming my whole English journey, my whole English skills. And I purchased the book some 4 years ago, and I started my, also as to let you know that I started my YouTube channel way back 4 years ago, and I'm still in the process of growing step by step, advancing in my YouTube journey step by step. I'm not yet a successfully established YouTube content creator, but still I'm working every day rigorously on the contents, and I'm also working on, I'm thinking a lot of stuffs and other things related to how to make useful contents in English. And so that always keeps me motivated every time that I bring out such contents for the viewers who wish to improve their clarity or enhance their confidence and abilities to speak English clearly and without any fear.
That
So,
sounds awesome.
yeah, yeah.
We're also gonna show you Maynard's YouTube channel later, so stay tuned. I wanted to ask you, since you said you totally learned the accent on your own. So that's hands down, that's amazing that you achieved such great results. But I wanted to ask you, for our viewers, you said you purchased this book, Mastering the American Accent. So how did you practice with that? Could you take us through your practice at the very beginning? So when you started out, what methods did you use? How much did you practice every day? How long? Did you listen to podcasts or anything else? So what was your regiment and your surroundings, so to speak?
Okay, so sorry for the interruption.
No
So,
problem.
yeah, yeah. So, if I want to talk about my strategy, which I applied for myself in order to study American pronunciation and accents, so I really start from the scratch, like from the grassroots level. I started to master my uh, English pronunciation in terms of learning first the alphabet, that is, all the vowels and consonants of English, that is from A to Z. I first delved into mastering all the vowels because since I want to let you know that since childhood we have been taught English in such a way which is very different as compared to other countries like teaching methods. In India, we have what is known as the mother tongue influence in our speech patterns in English. So a Bengali speaker will have a Bengali speech influence, that is his mother tongue influence in his speech patterns in English, and also in the pronunciation of the letters of, um, I mean, the English alphabet. So what happened is that my I was accustomed to be speaking um, English as per the Bengali influence, which was way back some 6 years ago. I also do have some remnants of Indian accent sometimes whenever I talk to my parents or to some of the people here in the locality or some other guys in across various states from India. So what I did was I mastered the whole of the pronunciation of the vowels and consonants. That is, like like the English alphabet has five vowels, like A, E, I, O, and U. So what I used to pronounce them as like, so instead of pronouncing A, I used to pronounce simply like A, E, I, O, U, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, like that. It used to be like back and forth. So it was with the Indian pronunciation. So I, first of all, I eliminated my MTI issues by mastering those vowels and consonants. And then I delved into working specifically for the IPA, that is the International Phonetic Alphabet, which is the IPA. I went to the phonemic chart. I went through all the phonetic symbols of the IPA. That is, I worked rigorously. I examined, I studied the pronunciation of all the vowel sounds and the consonant sounds in the IPA as per their symbols. And what I did was that I started to recognize the patterns of the differences in the pronunciation of the Indian accented words compared to contrary to the American accented words,
Would
and
you,
that made a lot of difference. And so I spent about 3 years on mastering the phonetic symbols. So it took a lot of time for me
vowels
to
and consonants or only vowels? 3 years or both?
both,
Both.
both.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And so I started to recognize those patterns of the sounds of English, which is which was quite different. The way how I used to pronounce them.
Yeah.
So it made a whole difference. And so in a nutshell, I can say like it was an overwhelmingly such an incredible journey and experience for me to totally change, alter my the previous existing speech patterns that I used to have in my accent and what I have achieved now. So it makes a lot. It's a like a hell and heaven difference.
Yeah.
So
I
I
can.
can
If I
yeah
close
I
my
can
eyes and just listen to you, I would never think that you're Indian. So that's just my honest opinion. American, I would say American. And yeah, honestly,
thank you,
and
man. Thank you.
of course. And I would like you, because you talked about this difference, Indian pronunciation versus American, that in the past you have these Indian influences. And maybe to illustrate it for our viewers, could you maybe say, pick a few words, if you can still pronounce them in an Indian way, or try it, and then pronounce them side by side in an American way. So one word, like in a Indian manner, and one word in an American manner, so our viewers can see how that sounds like comparatively.
Okay, okay, sure. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna choose some specific words like uh, the word teacher, teacher, which is an Indian accent, is gonna sound like teacher in American accent.
Wow.
Word like um, perimeter, perimeter, which is an Indian accent, is gonna sound like perimeter in American accent. Word like let's say uh, red or rain, which is an Indian accent, will sound like red or rain in American accent. And word like schedule, which is an Indian accent, is going to sound like schedule in an American accent.
That's quite a difference. So that's awesome. That's like night and day, the difference between these two accents. So yeah, you did a great job. And I would like you to dive deeper into your specific practice method because now you laid out, you focused first on the specific sounds. And maybe you can walk us through like your typical day back then when you started out. So you said you were practicing with the Mastering the American Accent material. I can also recommend that great book. So when you say you worked on the vowels, so what exactly did you do? So how did you practice with the book? Did you do anything besides practicing with the book, recording yourself, or maybe you can dive
Yeah,
deeper into that? Yeah.
surely I'm going to tell it. So, what I did was um, in the book, corresponding to each of the chapters there in the book, you'll find that it contains several audio tracks. The audio tracks are available on a specific, there's a website which is mentioned in the book. So you're going to have to just go to visit um, that site, that website, and just type that URL, and you'll find a quiz type question which will be there, which is just picked up randomly from the book. You're gonna have to answer that first, and then you'll have access to whole of the um, audio materials uh, in regard to that, with regard to all the exercises that you have in the book. So it's a totally game changer, as I already mentioned, and I kept on listening to each and every vowel sounds, like with the specific what can I say, like words, its
Mhm.
pronunciation with the corresponding to the words and sentences. I did listen. I tried to mimic those speakers in the audio. I listened very attentively. I used to listen very carefully, and I used to repeat even a word, maybe some 100 to even 150 to 200 times. I used to do, and
Wow.
that was specifically during the pandemic time, especially in during COVID-19 pandemic period. So I used to do for that for the past, let's say, from 2019 to 20 late of 2021 to 2022 early, and so I also did work on some jaw and mouth exercises, which helped me to uh, get the muscles released from the tension, because our muscles are the actually, I want to say in a way that if we don't trigger our muscles or the articulators properly, so it's not gonna be working. Because the way how we Indians pronounce words or sentences is quite different from the way how native speakers pronounce. Because we don't necessarily use our mouth or move our articulators in the way how what a native speaker does. So that's what I can pinpoint actually to the way how I gradually got the hang of it. I think I'm still learning at this point, because I still believe that I haven't. given up everything on my practice, on my practice strategies, or like strategies, or like my technique or methods. I think it's really going to work for so for anyone who wish to improve their pronunciation or articulation. So I can just relate to that.
Awesome. Yeah, because you're such a great role model. Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, with the consistency part. So right now, you're still practicing, you said. So how much are you practicing every day versus how much did you practice, like, right from the beginning of your journey? And would you say, how important is consistency? And what about other like training methods or practice methods, like recording yourself? Maybe you can touch up on that.
Yes. So if I want to talk about the like that how much time I dedicate myself to practice these days, so I'd say that it's mostly maybe perhaps 2 hours on an average per day. And earlier I used to spend about about some 4 to 5 hours.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, that's
Yes, 4 to 5 hours. And because at that time I didn't have any specific, because it was the pandemic period at that time, because everything was closed, like the schools, the colleges, and everything. So I dedicated the whole time at that period to get uh, acquainted with all the nuances of American English. And also at the same time, I was trying to neutralize my accent to the extent my Indian accent, because suppose like if you want to go for any job interviews, maybe in the purpose of like in higher like a higher educational institution, or maybe job interviews in companies like maybe in Wipro. So in that case, if you go for the interview there, you won't be asked to um, speak like an American or British. They're gonna see or judge you by your neutral sounding accent, which is like which is indeed like the Indian accented speech patterns with some remnants or touch of the British pronunciations. So they would ask you to do perform your communication in that way. So I decided to neutralize that to the extent, and also I've retained some of the touch of the British, as well as also with the touch of Indian, and as usual, definitely the American pronunciation, and that's that just altered my every, I mean, the perspective of English.
yeah, true, because you speak in a different way and people perceive you in a different way based on the way how you sound. So it kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah, what I'm interested in, what would you say were the challenges? Because it's not a piece of cake at all to change your accent in such a significant manner. So, which challenges did you face and how did you overcome them? So, maybe you can talk a little more about the difficult things, as I said, because it's not easy at all.
Yes, indeed, it's not as easy to be talking like a British or an American. Just it's not an overnight process. So uh, I I I just said to myself that okay, I can speak. First, you need to have the right confidence within yourself
Yep.
that you can ace the accent if you wish to. Because I had that burning desire, I had this starvation within myself that I need to work on my English. I need to, because it was my dream, it was my starvation. It's something which I wanted right from the get go. That yes, I have to speak like a native speaker of both British and American accent. So first, my approach was towards the general or the neutral sounding American one. I went for that, and then after some 5 to 6 years, I decided to work on my British pronunciation also. So I at the same time I can as I mentioned earlier, that at the same time I can use both British and American. I have the capability to switch over from one to another. And also, these days, even I also talk to my parents in English. I don't use Bengali at all in my home, and my parents are also very much acquainted with the speech patterns of this native pronunciation. They can understand more or less everything, so that makes a whole that's a great what can I say, it's a positive aspect or point for me, because I don't have any speaking partner with whom I can practice
Ah, I see.
here in here in this neighborhood or in the locality, because it's in the outskirts from the city of Kolkata. It's a place called Birati here in near Kolkata, and people are not so much familiar with the spoken form of English, because people uh, actually they are quite comfortable with Bengali or maybe some Hindi, likely to be. So that's I can just say about my the things which I wanted to share actually.
So mindset, you say it's very important because you had this craving, so you wanted to do it by all means. But what would you say? Because I'm sure there were like instances where you felt like, it's so difficult. Not that necessarily that you wanted to give up, but you felt everything is just overwhelming. I'm not sure if you had these. What did you
Mhm.
do in these specific moments? Because to be honest, the majority of people, they just give up if it's too difficult, you know? So
Yes.
maybe what was your yeah, your strategy there?
My strategy was that um, initially I didn't break down while mastering this accent. So at times, yes, some negative feelings, sort of feelings, just engulfed within myself that when I didn't get when people didn't appreciate me much, like my parents first didn't take, used to take this so positively, because it's a very uncommon phenomena to talk like that while living in Indian society or among Indian parents. So um, I had been subjected to a lot of criticisms. I had been subjected to many bullies also in the neighborhood, in the society, and also some people used to think me as a crazy person, like, what is this guy doing? Why is he talking in English? And some people used to make fun of my accent, and I had to face those negativities. So I never paid any attention for those negativities. I thought to myself that I have to I have to get along all these negative influences and effects from these evil kinded people, and I need to move forward in my uh, progress towards learning and mastering it as soon as possible, like native.
Yeah, I see. So you didn't pay attention to them. You just stayed firm on your goal and kept it in mind and kept working on it.
Yes, actually, that makes the whole um, importance of my journey to be so relevant.
Oh, that's very exceptional. I mean, keeping that in mind that you were also bullied and everything, yeah, it's very impressive that you just stayed firm and kept going towards it. So we have like 2.5 minutes left, but I want you just to tell our viewers, maybe if you could sum it up, what would you say is
Mhm.
the most important advice, if we can do that in 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes? But we can also do another session where we could talk again in more and more depth. But what would you say is the most important advice for people who want to sound more American? What should they follow? Which advice? Could you sum that up for us?
Yes, sure. So, in order to sound more American, first you have to have the right confidence within yourself that yes, you have to fix your goal. You have to fix your target of sounding like an American. So you're gonna have to first um, work on specific mouth and jaw exercises, which are going to be extremely helpful or beneficial to relax your mouth muscles, because those are going to help you to speak with much more clarity. So that is the one thing which I would suggest here in this ending part. So I'd like to also mention that some articulation exercises, also some pronunciation drills, and also some tongue twisters are going to help you to get over the influences of MTI or the mother tongue influences, to get rid of those patterns of Indian influences in your accent. So I'd suggest that. And above all, you should not you should not fear about making mistakes.
Hmm.
You shouldn't fear about making mistakes, because learning is something which will include making mistakes. So I believe that that's going to be my take on that. So I just like to say such things to all those who aspire to speak English like native speakers. And so that would be my conclusion.
Thanks for being here, Maynak. Would you visit us again for a second session? That would be great. So we can dive in more detail. I would
Okay,
appreciate it.
okay.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you so
guys.
much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.